I would personally set it at 12 p.m. But if you are more of a beginner, I would set it, hey, what's up guys, Jed here. Today we're going to be talking about the best time to break your fast when following 16-8. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so to make this simple, I went ahead and broke this down into 3 categories. Category number 1 is if you are somebody that has all the time in the world. Category number 2 is if you have a busy job. And category number 3 is if you're a student. So starting off, if you are someone that has all the time in the world, if you are following 16-8, there's probably many times when you're like, okay, I'm following 16-8. Should I set it at 7 a.m., 9, 6, 12? And well, to be honest, if it were me, I would personally set it at 12 p.m. But if you are more of a beginner, I would set it at 10 a.m. I believe that's the sweet spot. So many other people do that as well, and I recommend that you do the same. But one thing I will say is that the earlier you break your fast, the more difficult it's going to be as you progress throughout the day. Why? Because the earlier you're going to start your fast. So if we break our fast at 10 a.m., that means you're gonna stop eating at 6 p.m. I know a good majority of people can do that, and that's great. But I also know that a lot of other people can't do that. So if you're someone who doesn't really get hungry that often, this is a great schedule for you. But if you're somebody who gets hungry quickly, then it would be better if you move that a little further. In this case, I would suggest 12. But keeping that in mind though, if you can, I would suggest to push that even further. And when you do, it's going to be a whole lot easier because your last meal is going to be a lot closer towards bedtime. That way when you stop eating, just go to bed. You're not gonna feel any type of hunger whatsoever. On to the next category. If you're doing 16-8 and you're someone that has a relatively busy job, when would be the best time to break your fast? This always depends on your work schedule, and again, depends on how often you feel hungry. So with that said, I still think the best time to break your fast when doing 16-8 is during lunchtime. Alright, so if you work during the day, I would say break your fast during lunchtime. It's kind of obvious, but yeah, break your fast during lunchtime and then go from there. But if you're somebody that works night shift, here's how it's gonna go down. When it comes to night shift, unfortunately, you have to make the decision between still doing intermittent fasting and following through regardless of you being hungry, or forget about intermittent fasting and instead count your calories. I know, before you start hating me, just accept it. Those are the 2 things you have to decide between, especially if you work night shift. Break your fast when it's most convenient for you and deal with the hunger and focus on your goal. Don't be overwhelmed by the hunger, or start counting your calories, forget about intermittent fasting, and start eating less. Apply that if you work night shift, and I guarantee you're still going to progress. Lastly, if you're a student, I would have to say still break your fast around lunchtime, but I want you to implement one more thing. Especially if you're a student, keep yourself busy at all times. Trust me when I say this. When I was in high school, I was still doing intermittent fasting, but while I was doing it, studying for my tests and whatnot, the reality is that was all I was doing, and because of that, I always felt hungry. Why? Because I wasn't doing anything else, just studying and waiting for my fast to end. I am telling you, I don't really know what it is about keeping yourself busy with whatever you want. If you do this right and you do keep yourself busy, you're never gonna feel hungry. So break your fast around lunchtime and keep yourself busy at all times. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about that. And if you guys are interested in the Zero app, be sure to check out this video right here. And as always guys, if you enjoyed this video or are new to the channel, consider subscribing if you haven't already, and tap that notification bell so that you never miss out on any future videos. Also, don't forget to give this video a like and comment down below letting me know, when do you break your fast? And with that said, I will see you guys next time.